My earliest memory is riding in my grandfather's boat, arm over the side, hand in the spray. I've spent much of the rest of my life chasing this feeling. All of that has led to this, the wooden boat experience. I mostly continued the big push on the Chris Craft this week, but the weather was nice until Wednesday, so I snuck over to the skiff house occasionally. I'd say that we have about an hour of daylight left, judging by the sun. Let me spin you around and you can see. It's getting low. So let's see if in an hour we can get a wall up here. Well, the best way I can figure to see if that peak is square and straight, because I'm trying to get a good view on it and I'm not able to, is to fly the drone. Well, half the roof is up, the port side, I guess. The starboard is a bit complicated because of the chimney, but I'll finish soon, and then the siding would be next. Just a few episodes ago, the hull looked like this. I can't believe it, but this is it, the elusive last bit of paint to scrape off of this hull. Let's do it. I'm sure you're happy to not have to watch me do this anymore, but not as happy as I am not to be doing it. Oh, that's it on scraping. I was just thinking to myself, hey, maybe the refastening's done. Then I'm sanding, and these three little things pop up. I don't know, they were too dark to see before, so I got to pull them out, change those. If you remember way back when, I put in these stainless steel through machine screws through the hull with a nut on the inside, and now I'm switching them all out to silicone bronze. So everything below the water line will be silicone bronze. There was one here as well. There we go. And that'll be it. We're almost done refastening. On Sunday, I decided I finally better deal with the ends of the strakes by the transom. First, get rid of any bad wood, and then make some new pieces. This piece is just too small to clamp, so I'll use some nails. Sinking these down below the surface, although I'm mostly going to be cutting here, I don't want to hit those with a chisel or with a plane. Remember when you're doing stuff like this, that you got to think about what is the important part, what are you going to see? And on this piece, the important part is this end. We want to show this end of the strake at the transom. The rest of this is going to be an epoxy. So It doesn't have to be super pretty. It's got to fit. It's got to be strong. Now we've feathered out to that last layer. Not quite enough though. It's good strong plywood. Won't pull the nails through, nail heads through. All right, let's go see what it looks like. Remember, let's not get caught up too much in how pretty it is, but what is this thing trying to do? Or what are we trying to make this thing do? And I think this is going to do it just nicely. We get these holes to line up. Maybe that one's way up. Always double check. I thought ahead a bit. This is what they call a pro tip. I hung the Fixoflex in the sun so it'll flow really nicely. About an hour ago. Should be good now. Okay, that worked. We got a new tip on here. It's flowing quite nicely. This is gonna end when we get to about here. I think we got enough to do what we're doing. Maybe I should put another one in the sun. I can always do it later. Finished up Sunday by adding some more fairing. 15 different times I mixed up fairing compound to get this far. You can see the results with the cardboard and spreaders on the back of the hull. That's the end of Sunday. What's next? Don't forget Patreon to support the WBE. Exclusive content, occasional giveaways, one coming soon, and knowing you help. And now members get their own spot in the boat shed. Thanks, patrons! And now it's Monday, and this is how it finished. But the day involves sanding, more sanding, fairing, and of course, still more sanding. Well, other than a few spots here and here, a couple up here and some down here that are really little tiny areas, right there I'm going to hit right now with just a tiny bit of fairing. But this area up here is very close to being ready to be primed, and that's exciting. Kind of a reversal of fortunes because the other side was so far ahead and now this side is catching up. But right now, honestly, over there on a day that's been so nice, so unusually nice, it's way too hot to work on the side where the sun's hitting you. So I'm concentrating on here. We are moving along as fast as I'd hoped. No. Faster than I expected? Maybe. I don't know. It's confusing, but it's getting done. Sometimes I wrongly probably kind of assume that everybody knows what I'm talking about with fairing. But you can see here that I've sanded this down to 50 now. And what I'm going back, you probably wonder, why is he going back and redoing? But what I'm doing is sanding with that long board. It's not very long, but it's a long board technically. And the areas that it leaves are spots that are low. And that's what I'm doing, is going back and filling those spots. Now, the better job that you do in filling, the more careful job, I guess, you got to leave enough up so that you fill it in and you don't have another divot when you get back the next time. But going along with that, you also don't want to leave a lot extra because you got to sand all that off. So I'm trying to do both those things. All these little low spots, I'm filling in. Here's one right here. You can see the stuff gets not white, but a very light green when it's been sanded. And the areas that are not getting hit are pretty dark still. So that's one way to tell. And also, each time you mix it, you don't get it exactly the same color because you're not mixing exactly the same yellow and blue together. So that helps as well. You can see the different layers. You're probably wondering, why are these still not here? Well, there's a couple spots here that need ribs up in the bow. And I'm going to deal with those after we flip it over, and then I'll go back and fill these spots in. Because you can fare on top of the primer. I had to change into shorts. It's November, what, 10th? I think it's the 10th. It's over 70 degrees in the boat shed, and it's like 9 o'clock. Restore an old wooden boat, they said. It'll be fun, they said. They didn't tell me about the sanding part. I'm about finished with sanding, and I'm not finished with sanding. Back to it. I had plans to take Wednesday off and get editing done early. Usually it's Thursday. It was raining, and I was tired. But then I edited in the morning, and it cleared up, and the Chris Craft beckoned. Heck, an hour or two wouldn't hurt. See you next week in episode 14.